Welcome back to the show. Big thanks to Tech Electronics for helping us out with our studio. Oh, boy. TechElectronics.com is their website. You can check them out online, see all their capabilities for managed services. You all right over there?
I laugh at my own jokes. I'm pathetic. I'm Jimmy Fallon over here. I apologize.
Jimmy Fallon has a really good relationship with Michael McDonald. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. But
Does like an impression of him. Yeah.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everyone while you're
I was laughing because I was telling how Cooper Kupp of now the LA Rams, he's always been of the LA Rams, he was never a St. Louis Ram, but how, of course, he's having a great season and that he's a white receiver, very athletic, very talented. Yeah. And so I was
miracle.
It is. He's having a phenomenal year for the Rams. And I was just saying, man, I can just only imagine how much of a stud this guy would be if he was in St. Louis. And Gardner, of course, asked the question, could he compete with Harrison Bader? And I said, absolutely. Like, they would be, in tandem in more ways than one. And then I even went as far as to say, turning to Chris, man, you would never get laid in this town if Cooper Kupp was here. And to which he was naturally stunned and
wondering how you make that connection.
I don't know why I made that reach, but I just figured because I just feel like all the tall women, Cooper Kupp and Harrison Bader would probably gobble him up. That would leave Chris.
Bader's probably like 5'11".
Yeah, but tall women like that. They like to be able to pick you up and go.
Oh, it's not my experience.
And then squeeze it back out.
How's that?
Oh, and then what do they do back out? Oh.
That's generally how it works. I've seen it done before. I don't know the biology behind it, but it works.
Our friend Derek Gould was literally a hero yesterday, and this is a headline that's out there as well. We failed to mention it during the Cardinals talk earlier. We got so excited, but Derek Gould saved a man yesterday, potentially saved his life, performing CPR in the Cubs dugout. Oh, carte blanche T-shirt.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Brother of the show. Once you come on a couple of times, you become an official brother. But Derek Gould, I think one of the camera operators?
Yeah. I can't remember which Chicago station it was.
Mike Flannery was the gentleman. There was a delay.
They were using a local
videographer.
The Chicago station was using a local videographer. It was right before Theo Epstein and Joe Madden were going to meet the media in the Cubs dugout to announce that would be Joe's last game with the Cubs. Rest in peace, liberal arts baseball.
Hilarious.
And then people were like, well, what's going on? And then the first thing I saw of it was Brian Stoley.
He was tweeting about it?
He tweeted something that there was an issue in the dugout, prayers were needed, something was happening there. And then Kelly Kroll, who's with Chicago media, had tweeted out after that, several hours after that, apologizing for the delay in some of their coverage and that stuff because the videographer they were using, I guess, suffered a heart attack and stroke in the dugout. And Derek got involved to help out and assist, performing some CPR on the gentleman.
He did. According to the report, Derek Gould performed CPR on Flannery before the Cubs training staff and emergency medical personnel took over. According to the Post-Dispatch, Derek Gould, of course, is a former lifeguard and Eagle Scout who
whistle slinger
in CPR.
He likes to say whistle slinger.
Whistle slinger,
That's what
indeed.
he calls it.
Medical officials say that Flannery was hospital in critical but stable condition after suffering a heart attack and a stroke. The stadium doctor, David Tan, said so many people are afraid of doing CPR, but because of Gould's actions, he was the first link in that chain of survival. It's fabulous. It was the early CPR by Derek Gould that probably saved his life. Derek wasn't afraid. He didn't hesitate, and he did it. In the medical field, when you save somebody like this, they call it a clinical save. This is a clinical save that was started by Derek Gould, period. When you sent us the link, I was like, wait, is this like some joke? Is this something in the Onion, or was it something funny on Deadspin? Like it didn't immediately register to me until I got to the very end. I'm like, wait, Derek Gould saved a guy. Like, that's insane. What a moment. And to this doctor's point, yeah, a lot of people are very timid about performing CPR. So again, if it wasn't for Derek's actions, what a tragic moment that would have been at Busch Stadium this weekend. And we love having Derek on, of course, to talk Cardinals, but when we also get him on, we talk about superheroes. He loves comic books. That's one thing that he talks about, how him and his son really share. They love the MCU and things like that. That was a superhero play by Derek Gould, and salute to him and his just being.
Yeah, Benfred, why can't you be a hero?
Oh, get him. Yeah, get his ass. Yeah, where you at, Benjamin Hockman? Where your little smart-ass comments now? Where your little comedy routine? Huh? You ain't saving lives like that? That was probably the best save at Busch Stadium we've probably seen all season. No?
Yeah. What did I... No. I was trying to figure out a lead for the story, and
I guess you could say it's all Gould.
Okay. I was texting with Ben Fredrickson, and I said, a whistleblower has been the talk of a nation, but on Sunday, a former whistle slinger was the talk of Cardinal Nation.
I like it.
I'm Chris Gardner, ESPN.
Yes. A little Sal Palantonio action there. I like it. I like that. I am game for that. That is well done. That is really cool. Have you ever performed CPR? Or do you know how to perform CPR?
Yeah, but it's been so long since
long.
I've been brushed up on it. But yeah,
I was freshman year of high school.
good thing to be good at.
Yeah.
We would take it in health class, and we had one of the dummies that you would use, but that had the electronic monitor attached to it.
Right.
And I did, what was it I had? I had 97 out of 100 perfect compressions, which was the best in the class by far. So I had 97 out of 100 perfect compressions. One of the keys there, you got to watch out there in the sternum. There's the xiphoid process, which is the kind of triangular bone at the tip of the sternum.
You don't hit that?
Well, you want to use that as a guide and go a couple inches up, because what you can end up doing
Breaking a rib?
is you can break that xiphoid process off
Oh, Jesus.
just from the compressions.
All right, so you want to go,
the
so
pressure of the
where the
compression.
V is right here, I
Yeah.
want to go a little
You
bit
can
higher
find
right
it. It's
here.
a little cartilagey. You can feel it there. You see that?
I feel like that's bone all right there.
No, it's right here.
Right here. Yeah.
Go about 2 inches up from there.
Up the chest.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
start there.
How much pressure am I supposed to be putting on?
Well, that's you got to kind of feel. It's kind of a feel game there.
Okay. And I want to do it to the Bee Gees, right? Ha,
That's
ha,
an Office
ha,
episode.
Ha, staying alive. But then someone recently, we talked about that story about how someone referenced The Office to how it gave them, guidance to provide CPR in a medical emergency, and they end up saving someone's life, and they credited the episode of The Office for doing so.
Yeah, where was that? I do remember seeing that.
We
story.
talked about that I think it was on the radio side, but yeah, it was. It's pretty funny. Whatever works at the end of the day, and thank you, Derek Gould. My goodness,
Shout out! We're doing shout outs.
We're doing shout out. We gotta do shout outs. What a moment! Derek Gould. What if we discovered that Derek Gould's an actual superhero? How
He
dope
is.
with that?
Yes, he did it.
He did do it.
You'd have been like, yeah, I dude.
Yeah, probably what I would. Probably even said that. I'd be like, you mind if I tweet this out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what?
You probably just would have disappeared.
I
When
probably
wondered
would've
where
just
you
been
went.
like, I gotta go. The helmet nachos are calling me.
Ooh, jalapenos.
Now, Derek Gould, I will say, is not only a credit to humanity, but certainly his race. But let's see if any of these other individuals will be a credit to their race. It's time for the Great American Race.
There's no open.
There's no we.
But we have a scoreboard.
Dum 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 dum. Dum, dum, dum. All right.
You didn't get Michael McDonald. He could have got us. See, that would have been an opportunity for him. Like, hey, man, we do the show. We've been on Corolla. We're friends with Rogan. Can you do a
You're
new
friends with
intro
Joe now?
song? Should have asked him for that. How cool would it have had Michael McDonald on your intro?
Mm-hmm.
We all love, love, love. We all love, love, love. We all love, love, love. We all love.
What if it's like, we are love, we are love.
I can't
We
get
love,
enough for
we
10
are
minute
love.
drive. Traveling Damon really make me alive. I enjoy their comedy.
Taking it to we all love.
Taking it to the live. Again, missed opportunity. That's what happens when you don't invite my ass backstage. Nevertheless, we have a 460 tie heading into the final Great American Race.
How did
of the
this
month
get
of
tied?
September.
It
What a
got messy
crock.
last
It
week.
got very messy last week.
I know a lot of shit went down, and I don't remember exactly all of what happened. Because I don't think we've ever had scores like this.
Yeah, a lot of bad things. I think even some of it wasn't even from the Great American Race.
No, I think
some of it was just transferred over.
So it was.
Gardner, you're a very bad person to have wielding any sort of power
I
whatsoever.
agree with that.
He knows it. I think he knows it. That's
Yeah,
why.
I readily admitted that. I've never wanted to be in a position of power, partially because of that. Just knowing that about myself. Try to put yourself in good positions, right?
Yes.
I don't want to be in power. I want
Yeah.
to be right below the power. But we're at 460 each on the final day of September.
Just before Oktoberfest. Now, that's just interesting because when Oktoberfest,
Okay, there you
when it comes back around, I'm curious because I'm at a disadvantage. That's your month. So I'm going to have to bring my A game for our Oktoberfest because this is your month. So I don't know how that's going to work. So I have to finish this strong because the odds are going to be against me this.
They most certainly will be. I'll probably be sympathetic to Chris that month.
That makes sense. It's your month. You deserve it.
Mhm.
Now, Chris,
31 days, I believe.
now can you kind of give everybody a brief idea as to how this works?
Okay, so you each provide a story that makes the other's culture, community not look so great. And then I kind of decide to give you points or take away points throughout the discussion.
Right.
We start with, it's a credit score rating is what we're using. Chris starts with 850, you start with 800 because of systematic racism.
Thank you.
And we do it throughout a month, and then whoever has the better credit score rating at the end of the month is declared the winner of the Great American Race.
And it's been a back and forth in 2019. There have
Yeah.
been great moments for the blacks, but the whites have had a strong summer. Chris has found black Twitter, and he has found some very incriminating stories. Look, a lot of things have broke Chris's way over the last couple of months, I'll acknowledge. And there have been stories where I haven't been able to truly fight. So I'm very curious to see what Denman has up his sleeves for this final round in the month of September. And because of that, Chris, because you had the opportunity to actually spend time in my community in Ferguson recently, I'm going to allow you to kick off the Great American Race.
Still no open.
Still no, that
Yeah.
doesn't. Okay,
It's
thought
okay.
I'd try. What do you got for us today, my friend?
In great hip-hop names,
Oh no, please God.
today's story doesn't disappoint.
Oh no, please God, please.
A woman was recently knocked out by a security guard.
No, I like the baby too. Damn it.
For a man named Dababi.
No, it's the baby, brother. What the?
Dababi.
Okay, he's got to lose points for that, right?
Dababi.
Ooh, I like Dababai.
Dababai.
Dababi.
Dababai.
Dababai. that's
Dababai.
Apparently, a female fan looking to be around 20-ish touched him, got too close, and a man under the employ of Dababi
good. Oh, Jesus.
knocked her out cold.
Oh, my God.
Travis?
Are you serious?
So not only does he go around asking his friends to call him DaBaby, he employs people that he's obviously okay with, striking fans who paid to see him, and it's not some dude squaring up. It's a very nice young woman. There was no weapon. There was no assault.
weapon?
Nothing.
What happened to the guard?
Well, he's on full salary and represents Dababy on all accounts.
Was he charged?
Well, the guard was black.
Do we
So
know?
again-
Do we know the bodyguard is black? Because there are a lot.
Your news source. There's video.
I would check.
There's video. Be careful, or we'll play it. There's video. So, Dababy.
Is the
Security
bodyguard black?
Yeah.
Do we know this? Can we confirm this?
I would
It's confirmed.
I'm gonna
take another look.
I'm gonna take the time to look at said video if
Okay.
that's
so
okay.
DaBaby employs this person.
Okay, so
That's key to Chris's
now we don't know if he directly employs his because sometimes the record
there's
label
no,
the record label can
no.
provide security
the
for
headlines I see the Bobby's security, so
Yes.
that they're
these.
contributing
So
it to
we're
him.
saying he is indeed okay. All right. So I will check the video feed. It's about what appears to be like a 30-second video
Okay.
on TMZ. There is a
Your news source.
let me see. It's kind of a light skin. This is why is oh no, this is
It's a big boy, that's for
a
sure.
very big boy.
Problematic.
He
DaBaby's security.
Actually, the size of him, I'm taking more
What
points
is
off
he?
Travis.
He is a big boy. No, I just don't. Is this the video? Who are they fighting? This just seems very violent. Now, this seems like he's fighting a man here. So
No.
maybe this is a different incident.
No.
This appears to be a man. I don't think this is a woman. I don't think he'll be fighting a woman like this.
Well, if you see the video we saw,
Oh boy.
yeah.
So maybe that's so.
Got nothing, huh?
I wouldn't either.
I
Might want to just turn and tuck tail.
I would.
You've lost 60 points.
Oh
It's
my.
a hefty fine. You might just want to hope your story's decent.
Is he? Maybe he was a law enforcement official. Was he not?
Employed by DaBaby.
Taking 10 more points off for that.
Damn it. I don't even think credit scores can go that low.
No?
I don't think I
No.
can even get a bag of chips at this rate.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
All right, so I'm going to have to dig deep. Leave it to white America to actually live out a real life horror story. Have you ever seen the film The Orphan? Everybody familiar with The Orphan? The Orphan, of course, where this this couple, they adopt this child. The child is very, let's just say, has murderous tendencies.
That's fair.
They soon the twist of the horror story is that it wasn't a child at all. Actually, it was an adult who had a dwarfism type of disease where they, of course, look like a child, but they're actually older, and that this child had escaped, or this individual, adult, that looked like a child escaped from an insane asylum and was trying to murder people.
Yeah, I remember the movie.
All right, well,
Yeah.
leave it to white America.
That's scary.
Leave it to the whites, because they're not just American. Let's leave it to the whites to actually live out this as a reality. This is crazy. The parents adopted a daughter. They left the daughter behind, moved to Canada, and they were charged
Wait,
with
where were the parents living?
abandonment. All right,
Where were
so
the
I'll
parents
start.
living? Hold on here. Just leave the daughter behind where?
They are in Indiana. The couple's from Indiana. Christine and Michael Barnett. They were a couple from Indiana and adopted a Ukrainian-born daughter named Natalia in May 2010 from a Florida adoption center. In 2013, they left her in the U.S. and moved to Canada with their son, which Christine says they did only after finding out that Natalia was apparently lying about her age. The Barnetts were then charged with 2 counts of felony abandonment of a dependent based on a statement Natalia made in 2004 alleging that she was left alone by her adoptive parents the year before. According to court documents obtained by NBC, she told police that she came to the U.S. in 2008 through an adoption program. The documents also stated that she has a form of dwarfism and stands at
Dear God.
3 feet tall and needs help walking. Police then say between 2013 and 2016, the Barnetts didn't support Natalia financially while she lived alone in an apartment in Indiana.
What?
And they were in Canada, where they had moved so their son, Jacob, could attend a specialized school, say. So according to the Daily
How
Mail...
did she get by?
I don't know. They just left.
They left her and moved to another country.
All that was just this is your friend Natalia just crashing for a little too long.
Who's paying for the apartment?
The Barnett said they said she is not 9 years old, as charging documents say. They claim she was 22 years old, masquerading as a child. Hospital records from 2010 show her age was approximately 8 years old.
I will say this.
It's a pretty good story, Travis.
Certainly is. I will harken back to the name of the segment, The Great American Race.
They moved. They can't. No.
To Canada.
They moved to Canada. That's the most American thing.
No.
They abandoned this child.
They abandoned this country.
They abandoned the country, and they're from Indiana.
She's
It doesn't
Romanian.
get more white
also,
than that.
She's also not American.
So it is not known where Natalia currently is.
Working at a Target somewhere.
How did she
'Cause she
pay for the
can.
apartment?
Her boyfriend.
How did she eat? I don't understand.
Maybe she ate other children? I don't know. Christina and Michael Barnett say they're victims of fraud and claim that throughout her time with them, Natalia terrorized the family. Christine told the Daily Mail that the former couple thought Natalia was 6 years old when they adopted her, but discovered, of course, things indicated that it seemed that she wasn't a child, while Natalie...
So how old was she when they adopted her?
So they say she's 22, so that must mean
22
she
now?
was a teenager. The
No.
documents...
Not now. She's like almost 30.
Yeah, so they claim that, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
This literally is that plot. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
It is almost like directly straight from the screenplay. I wonder if it's
Now it's
inspired
hard.
by
Now it's hard to believe
Yeah.
because did the parents just say, "Hey, let's just go with the movie The Orphan. We saw it recently, and this is how we can get out."
They said, according to her age, was approximately 8 years old, according to Bone Disney measurements. However, hospital records from June 2012 showed she was about 11. At that same year, prosecutors say
She's
Michael,
Ukrainian.
Yeah. Oh boy, it really all ties in together, doesn't it?
Now we see what's
At the
going
same year, prosecutors say Michael and Christine legally changed Natalia's age to 22. How do you change a person's age from 11 to 22?
That's a big jump.
Christine Barnett.
It's like Miguel Tejada in Major League Baseball. This was only a 2-year difference, though. Like, this is bigger than any of that.
They were literally tacked on 11
Don't ever
years.
come at me about Albert Pujols ever again.
Bone Disney test show.
on. How about whatever the dude Fausto Carmona was not? That wasn't even his name.
wasn't even
like
his
you.
And that was so
He
funny.
had a boring ass name.
That really screwed up
I
a
got
lot of
really
fantasy
mad.
situations
I
for a
got-
lot of people. Like, who is he now?
Was it Hernandez? Is it Roberto Hernandez?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
I was so mad. I was like, Fausto Carmona is a badass
That's
name.
a dope ass name, and you have to change it back. Stupid birth certificate document. So according, Christine
Once
Barnett.
again, it ties in.
His friends. You want me to call you Fausto?
A family doctor who conducted bone density tests after Natalia was adopted determined she was actually 14 years old or older. The police say the Barnetts told them that month that Christine Barnett told Natalia to tell others Natalia looks young but was actually 22. But he's now denying that he ever made that statement. The Barnetts say they were victims of fraud and claim that throughout her time, she terrorized the family.
How did they say how she terrorized
While
them?
giving her a bath, she says she discovered that Natalia had full
Oh, no.
she had full pubic
Again.
full pubic hair.
All right.
And said at one point she found proof that Natalia had been getting her period and hiding it. She also said that after the bone density test, Natalia began talking of killing the family. She drew pictures, saying she wanted to kill family members, roll them up in a blanket, and put them in the backyard. Christine claimed that Natalia put bleach or Windex in her adopted mother's coffee and told her, "I am trying to poison you," and that she stood over the couple while they slept.
But this is the Ukrainian person doing it.
Great American race.
No.
Get out.
No. She
And boy, did they.
They left the country.
Was
They
this?
just go, all right, we're out of here.
She was she was placed in a psychiatric unit at a hospital after she tried to drag Christine into an electric fence in 2012.
Feisty.
I've stuck a fork in an electric fence before. It was not pleasant. Oh my god. Did she like watch the movie and then like this is what I'm gonna do? Like what the hell?
Oh my goodness. So the electric fence was in 2012, and during her treatment, she allegedly told a clinical therapist that she was 18. and described to staff how she had tried to kill family members and had no remorse about it. The Barnett said in 2012 they officially had Natalia's age corrected to 22 in court to get the psychiatric treatment that she needed. And
That was
she
nice
helped.
of
Here she
them.
go. They helped Natalia rent an apartment, after which she vanished and stopped returning the Barnett's calls.
And then what happened? No one knows?
They now is not known where Natalia is.
Well, now they're divorced too.
And now they're divorced. I had found a
Oh,
little pink
God.
dress in her closet and a little pink bicycle parked beside her house. She discontinued communication with me. What I did get was a letter in the mail stating that she had changed Michael from the beneficiary of her Social Security income to someone else. The couple named Antoine and Cynthia Mann supplied.
So she's out there somewhere.
She's out there somewhere, probably about to kill somebody.
I need to see a picture to know what she looks like.
Confirmation: the security guard is black, by the way.
Okay, damn it.
Light skin.
Okay.
I have to say,
Thank you.
though,
Light skin.
I say to actually reenact a horror film in real life is pretty white. They're from Indiana, no less. Not only
It's an immigrant.
they literally left the states to go to
Ukrainian.
another
It's not
incredible.
white.
That's a very white country.
Don't let Trump get a hold of this
I'm about
story.
to say that he's going to tie that to little Adam Schiff adopting killer orphans to come to America,
Killer
scare
Orphan?
our
Killer Orphan, great punk band.
Right.
Oh man, I
Um,
saw them at the Whiskey a Go Go.
Where is she? Nobody's asking the questions. I'm going to send Giuliani out. We're going to find the killer orphan.
I saw someone tweet a picture of him where he's on one of the new shows and he's like this. He's like, and they're like, I know this from Ghostbusters. He's getting a blowjob from a ghost.
Good God. So I think this story, you got Indiana, you got Canada,
I
you
see
got
what
killer
you got.
orphan child, you got a child trying to kill their parents, which, by the way, is very white. You got parents abandoning said child and then refusing to own up to their
Okay.
responsibility. And then now, after they abandon said child, then they pay for her rent, and now she's missing.
Okay.
Those are very
I
white
get
things.
all of your saying. We're tied at 390 right
Okay.
now. I'm making one more scoring adjustment.
Okay.
I am adding 20 points to Chris because after hearing everything, I think the parents might have been in the right here.
Yeah, I'd move to Canada too.
I might bail.
Yeah.
You can't leave your child
But
behind,
she's
man.
Ukrainian.
She is Ukrainian.
It's not American. If it was
She
another
was-
American
but she
doing
was,
it,
She was in the. They adopted her while she was in the state. They adopted her from Florida, which is you can't get whiter than that.
did they think she was not Ukrainian?
I don't think they even knew that.
Yeah, I don't. I got after hearing all the details of that, it might have been best for the family just to go, just to get out of Dodge, which they did.
Did I mention that the orphan girl apparently killed a bear?
It's just now you're pandering.
No.
Pandering.
Chris gets 10 more points for the pun.
Damn it, that's a good pun. That was good.
So
I guess
420 to 390.
Damn it.
You were up
420.
against it, Travis. So it was a pretty good story, except if the
Feels good beating you with your favorite number too.
Yeah, that does suck. I like that.
Nah.
Which one do I do?
Yeah.
Remember like the
Yeah.
kids who didn't like get to watch music videos and stuff? They'd be like, "Yeah, They'd do, I love you," and it's like, dude, come on, man. Sorry.
Do it right.
Yeah.
420 to 390, the winner for September in the Great American Race is Chris Denman. On Cocktoberfest Eve. You all right, Travis?
That was
The
tough.
girl was Ukrainian. It's difficult. I mean, how do you if she would have been truly American, it would have helped you. You might have won. Because that
She
is a
was not
crazy ass
a real
bleeping story.
That is in a very.
I mean, I'd take off to Canada too.
knowing how
Where'd
very.
they go in Canada?
And
Did
the
they
thing
say
is,
where?
I'm very interested about is the adoption process in the states. It's very intense. So a lot of people missed the ball on this.
Well,
one.
maybe you could have looked into the doctor or whoever was involved
Shit,
with that,
I could have done that.
Yeah.
and that would have been the way to go
That
to
would've
see
been
if
smart.
that could have
Better
helped
get
your
that
cause.
stethoscope looked at, Bucko.
Because there's probably more skeletons in that closet if this went down
Right.
with whatever the hell this was.
Do you think like the doctor like had a crush on her and it's like, yeah, I'll help you with this?
How does,
I
by
don't
the
know.
way, and they screwed up. You have to sell this to Netflix.
I mean, the movie's
As a
already been done,
documentary?
though.
Yeah, but then to do a documentary version of the orphan, You can't beat that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't beat that.
There once was a film.
Now I want to know.
The Scar.
I need to see a picture. 'cause
Peter Sarsgaard.
I want to see the picture too. And then the
good
fact
call.
that, and I think the thing that really adds to the element that again, they really should have sold to Netflix is the fact that she's still missing. That's a great twist to an end of a story. Oh, yeah, by the way, this person that tried to kill my entire family that isn't actually an 11-year-old, but a 22-year-old woman from Ukraine is still missing.
Wait,
Wait, hang on, wait. Found her.
Oh.
Come on. Put the score back
no,
up.
it's
Put the
final.
score back
It's
up.
final.
We're
What about the
done.
dwarf community? That was offensive.
It wasn't offensive. What is this? The Great American Pace?
They're called dwarves.
Ah, shit.
Thank you.
Well,
Damn, why is there a
what-
drop?
what-
Is you know how Trump has a tweet for that? Is there a drop for that for everything I say?
Yeah, there's a. I wonder if they know where she is actually, and they won't say. Maybe they moved to Canada for a reason. You get what I'm saying?
That's the beauty of this story.
Maybe you
Gosh.
have to hide the evidence. What better way to hide evidence with apex predators around you
That's so.
that might be able to
That's a
clean
s-
it up for you?
This will be a Netflix. I think that the people over at Netflix, the talent development, the creative developers over there, they have to get a hold of these people to weave this narrative together.
I thought I saw that there was an update on this story somewhere recently.
There may have been update a story. I know there's also an update on another Netflix story, a series that, of course, captured our hearts and minds not too long ago, Making a Murderer. There apparently is a prisoner who has come forward and has gone on the record confessing to the murder of the young lady in Wisconsin. I'll get some more info on that. Maybe we can follow up on that tomorrow. But, man, these true crime stories are over the moon. These things are absolutely captivating. Just
Stranger than fiction.
it
as
is. It
they
is.
say.
Like, look, we basically based on all these stories, Keith Morrison will be in business to the end of time.
If he wants to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that a job you would want to try to
I
replace
was
Keith
gonna
Morrison?
say, are you in line?
Would that be something
I
you
don't
want
know.
to step
The
in?
correspondents they have are really good at what they do. I don't think I'm good enough for that.
Okay.
They're trained.
They are very good.
They're good. I enjoy them. That's why people watch.
That's true.
A more less formal podcast format maybe is the way to go. Because not all true crime podcasts are even the same.
True.
They're not set up with like newsy kind of sounding.
Some of the biggest,
but some of them are just conversations.
some of the biggest true crime podcasts are low production, just two people just
Right.
rambling.
Exactly. So maybe that rambling seems like kind of good for me if we were to venture there. I would like to interview some people, though. Like, you know who we've never heard from in, like, the Pam Hupp story? She was married. She had a husband. I've never heard from her husband.
Oh, really?
I've never heard from
I
her.
don't know why I thought, I would want to be out of that spotlight too.
Yeah,
But,
but you would...
I assumed he'd passed away or something.
Like, I would like to, know a few things. Maybe, and if they haven't taught him, he probably doesn't want to talk. You can understand why. But I haven't heard from him. So, like, that's something I would like to, like, did you have any clue what was going on here? Like, just any.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd like to hear things like that. There are certain people I'd like to hear from. That's about it. That's all I
We'll
got.
look into that. Hey, you can learn about Happiest Hour
Ooh.
in person Thursday, 6 o'clock. Great lineup again this week. Happiest Hour in partnership with Jack Daniels, Tennessee Whiskey. Big thanks to Sophie's Artist and Cocktail Lounge. We rocked it out. Had a great show last week. Looking forward to another one this week. Show up at 4 for drink specials on Schlafly and Jack Daniels. And comedy starts at 6. So bring some friends this week. Featured partner. We're going back with the Young Professionals at Gateway Pet Guardians. And they're bringing a dog. Oh, it's so cute, too. Very good looking dog. And Teresa will come on and tell us about that later this week. But really appreciate them and their support. We need to support them as well. Come out, have some laughs, pet a dog, and fist bump me, everybody.
I wouldn't go that far. Speaking of happy, I don't know if you saw this story
boy.
about a gentleman we talked about ad nauseum not too long ago when we were on the radio side. It was one of the biggest stories in local sports here in St. Louis. And Dave Matter of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch did a very good job at tracking him down, and a fine story. Matty Mauk, former quarterback of the Missouri Tigers, a guy that arrived on the scene. He was an immediate star, an impressive talent, but he soon found himself in a ton of trouble off the field, including a video. Actually, it was like a 6 to 7 second video of the former Missouri quarterback doing what it appears to be several lines of a foreign substance. Let's just say that. I don't think we ever officially confirmed that it was the good old-fashioned booger sugar, but it's safe to say that it was something that you probably shouldn't be stuffing up your nose. Nevertheless, after that video, of course, was eventually released, Mauck was relieved of his duties from the Missouri program. He left the university as a whole and returned home. Home, of course, these days is in Springfield, where he's now an assistant coach with his father. He's 26 years old. He's married. He had like a half a cup of coffee in Canada a couple years back, and he has acknowledged that he has received phone calls from the XFL. All he will say at this point is that his options are open. He's not saying that he would return, but apparently he's had a conversation with the folks in the XFL, which I think would be, I'm not sure when the draft is coming up, but if he found his way to becoming a battle hawk, then...
Well, I can't figure out who tweeted it. Someone said Battle Mock.
Battle Mauk.
Yeah.
Caw-caw! He ended up marrying his...
Give me a caw.
Okay, sorry. Caw-caw!
Chris?
That was not bad. Not bad at all. He ended up marrying his college girlfriend, who was a Mizzou Golden Girl from O'Fallon, Missouri. He still keeps in touch with some of the people from the program. He doesn't, unfortunately, according to him, he said outside of Gary Pinkel, he doesn't really keep up with any of the other personnel or things of that nature. He hopes that the team gets rings and hangs up banners under Barry Odom, who kicked him off the team before he ever coached a game. But he said he's made peace with Mizzou in his past. Has he forgiven himself? That's uncertain. But I don't want to give too much of the story away for those who follow the story. But if you're not familiar, it's a very well done story by Dave Matter of the Post-Dispatch about a kid who was white hot at Mizzou. Like he was definitely the big man on campus, and maybe it was too much too soon for him, and he got caught up in the substance abuse, which can certainly happen when kids are dealing with a ton of pressure and being in college.
He was he was one of a million kids that are around Mizzou that acted like that and did those things. And
I wouldn't say a million kids. I heard it was just a kid that was privileged, that had access of cocaine, and therefore he decided. I'm just saying there are a lot of kids that attend the University of Missouri that play football that have for years that don't put booger sugar up their nose.
Again, I like that this is where he's at now because there are other paths you can go down, and you could just be
very true.
So
he has worked now. He's working with his father, who is now moved from Ohio to Springfield.
I thought you were going to give away any more of the story.
No, I was just I'm saying I was just making sure I covered everything as far as like him and his relationship with his father, because that was another big part of the story when he was at Mizzou. Because I know his father was also dealing with some issues as well. But he was dealing with some cancer issues, so he had a lot of off the field issues that he was dealing with. But it's good, to Chris's point, that to see that he seems to be in a much better place now. And again, I recommend that everybody go check out the Dave Matter story in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Can I give a shout out?
It is.
Oh, we do shout outs.
It's time for We Are Live's shout outs.
I'll shout out Hillside Animal Hospital. Thanks for partnering with us.
Nice.
Gardner, who's your shout out today?
I want to shout out a gentleman I'm going to miss. We'll see where he ends up, but he's no longer going to be managing the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, boy.
Cheers to you, my liberal arts baseball manager, Joe Madden, who I love and I hate.
I was going to say, I've never went from wanting a guy to manage the team I like the most to just cringing every time he did his stupid little act and
because
even how he went out yesterday.
I know I would like him. I would get along with him very well.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's like, I guess maybe it's when your favorite band, has to start writing different types of songs or something. I don't know. Man.
REO Speedwagon kind of deal. Yeah, they changed. Even Fleetwood Mac, I guess, to a certain extent.
You love to hate Joe Madden.
Yeah, but I kind of do that. Number one, because he was a Cubs manager, and number two, because I know I would like him. Mm-hmm. I know I do like him when I've been in the Cubs dugout and I've had brief interactions with him. I can see, so I tried to stay away from him actually,
Right?
because I knew I would fall in love.
Right.
So the only way to not fall in love is to stay away.
Can't quit you, Joe
I can't
Madden.
quit you, Joe Madden. Like, and I do disagree with him at times. I disagree with how he approaches certain things with rules.
Right.
I believe he's hypocritical in those ways.
I agree.
But he has a way of saying it.
Yeah.
Now,
That just stop, Joe.
so real quick, 2 questions. Is he going to manage again?
Yes.
Is Brad Ausmus going to get fired in L.A. and for the Angels and Anaheim?
The thing is, like, I don't know where Joe is going to end up. I don't know what he wants. But he basically, any of the jobs that might open up, they would probably be
Calling
his.
him
If he,
first,
like
right?
San Diego, the Angels.
I think San Diego's perfect for him.
Well, the Phillies. He's from Pennsylvania.
I think with that fan base in that city, and I think the thing with Joe Madden
Did
is
you see Joe Madden with Bryce Harper and some young players?
God,
Jake Arrieta's there. I
that
mean,
would be something to watch.
Who's going to Chicago?
I think it'll end up being
a lot of talk about David Ross right
David
now.
Ross has been thrown up, but I think it has
Over
to
Girardi?
be. It has to be Girardi, right?
It doesn't have to be, no.
I think to your point, he's a guy that I think if he was in a
The
Cardinal
Mets.
uniform.
I mean, the Mets could be open.
Yeah,
up
very
there, too.
true. He is it just feels like his personality is too much. Because here's why I say that, because the guy did everything you wanted him to do in Chicago. The guy won. Yeah. And so for me, it has to be the personality, because I get they have quote unquote underachieved, but you're the freaking Cubs. You haven't done anything he has done the last 3 years.
So Bochy's retiring.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco would be
San Francisco or Seattle, more Joe Madden.
probably both.
San Francisco is the ultimate hippy dippy, right? Like,
Yeah, his van plays well on the West Coast.
Yeah, he's a very West Coast.
I mean, that van could just sit on the beach after a game and he could hang out there if he wanted to. But you mentioned he will fit in any of these destinations.
I agree.
Now the Angels is intriguing because that's where he started everything.
Yes, it's true.
That's where that could be something for him.
I definitely think it's California bound for him, but I think to his credit, I want to say I think it was Benjamin Hockman, our good friend, who noted this in the Post-Dispatch, is that he was the best thing for the Cardinals rivalry.
As people said, he noted he changed the culture.
He changed the culture, and he reignited that rivalry.
Because he got aggressive with the Cardinals.
Yeah. He called him out early. He as soon as he was like, get the card. He went very soprano with it, if you will.
Well, and he even said so himself. Yeah. And actually, that's how I'd like to honor him. Is going back to that moment when several years ago when he kind of switched it around and got his team being the aggressors within the division, and he became the keeper of the rules, as I call him. Because he started dictating like how the game is going to be played. That somehow La Russa passed that on to Joe at some point, and he got into it with the Cardinals after some close calls at the plate.
I'm really disappointed in what the Cardinals did right there. Absolutely.
I have been disappointed in the past. Absolutely, I have on numerous occasions. Never to this extent.
We did not hit their guy on purpose at all. That was an absolute mistake. There's no malicious intent whatsoever on Dan Herron's part. None.
Right. My bad.
So to become this vigilante group that all of a sudden wants to get their own pound of flesh.
Just a reminder, this station does not endorse vigilante justice.
That's absolutely insane and ridiculous and wrong.
Unless it gets results, which it will.
Furthermore, we don't start stuff, but we will stop stuff. We will end stuff.
You've got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold.
But I never wrote this book that the Cardinals have written regarding how to play baseball.
The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 10 commandments for all to obey.
So, take that book and you can read it yourself, because I don't give a crap about that book. So I want everybody there to understand that.
I suggest you stop whining like a little bitch.
Joe, no thought that the pitch could have just gotten away from WAL?
Of course not. Of course not. That is ridiculous.
You are now mocking me and making me look ridiculous.
That really showed me a lot today in a negative way. I don't know who put out the hit. I don't know if Tony Soprano was in the dugout. I didn't see him in there.
You want to talk all this old school bullshit about the rules? Well, here's a rule you might remember. I'm the motherfucking one who calls the shots. And you better pay me the respect that I gave your brother, or we're going to have a problem. A bad one. Now get the out of here.
Played the
Joe
part.
Madden.
He played the part as well as anybody, and again, I think I speak for a lot of Cardinals fans. I mean, yeah, we definitely enjoyed hating the guy for obvious reasons, but he did reignite this rivalry. It was dead in the water for a long, long time.
Well, that was partially by their design to not win.
Yeah,
so.
very true. Also very true. But yeah, I'm curious to see how the Cubs respond after that, because again, I think we said in our group chat, it sounds like the Cubs are going to be doing a bit of fire selling in the offseason. There's a farm system they do not have. We know Theo is a big spender, and they have a nice little payroll in Chicago, but it sounds like they're not going beyond where they are right now. And I think in order for them to, quote unquote, I guess, turn it around, they're going to have to probably start selling off some parts. We'll see how that plays out.
What are they going to do? I don't know.
They're
They're not that far. I mean, they're not that far off from being right in contention.
Yeah,
they're probably. I mean, just make some minor adjustments.
Yeah,
I mean,
see.
they're gonna, but I mean, you got Lester getting longer in the tooth. You're gonna have to address probably that bullpen, and again, what are you gonna do with Chris Bryant? But again, a guy like Chris Bryant can fetch you some very top tier talent when it comes to prospects. If there's a team that's willing to bite, and I would imagine there's gonna be. I don't know. It's not a given that he comes back as a Cub. At least that's why they're talking in Chicago. Whether I agree or not,
so weird.
It is very weird because they just gave the guy a sweet-ass contract 2 years ago. So we'll see how that plays out. But my shout-out as we get out here is to your favorite, Billie Eilish. She performed on SNL this past weekend, and it was very good, very impressive.
Some people were dogging it, I saw.
I don't know who. It was very unique. She kind of did this like zero-gravity performance. As her first song on SNL. And, of course, she announced this past week that she'll be going on a major 2020 tour with a stop here at the Enterprise Center here in St. Louis. I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited. I think 2020 is going to be her ultimate major breakout year, and I'm excited to see it. Very talented, and I thought she kicked off the new season of Saturday Night Live very well. And, man, and shout out to, I think we got a return of Maya Rudolph, apparently, as Kamala Harris. And I think there was a new cast member that also did Andrew Yang as well. And Andrew Yang was very happy with the performance.
No, it's not.
It was not. It was not Shane Gillis who was. And that, but so shout out to Billy. She's an incredible talent. I'm excited to see what she has in store for 2020.
Shout out to Brian Owens and everybody over at Life Hearts Inc. It was an awesome show last night, and they did a great job. Kennedy Holmes. We have a bunch of photos and
Shout out to Michael McDonald.
Yeah, everybody was just amazing, and it took a village, people. You did it.
Did.
For Gardner, for Travis, for myself, we've got J.E. tomorrow.
Yeah. Get ready for the first hour as well.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Could be interesting.
Sounds good.
All right. See you then.
Bye or peace.